Well, hello good people. So I've got an exciting one today. I'm driving or riding all the way over to the opposite side of Skåne to a town called Kivik, which is actually spelled K-I-V-I-K, but it's pronounced in Swedish Kivik. And there is a place there called Kiviksgraven, or the King's Grave, and it's the biggest like stone burial ground from the early Bronze Age. So it's dated back to what is it, 3,400 years ago, or that's like on the bones and that sort of stuff that they've carbon dated. And yeah, so it's the actual burial ground is a reconstruction which was done back in when it was, let's say, come to the public's attention when it was used as a quarry. It's like a huge stone pile, and it was used as a quarry for a long time, people making houses and brick walls and that sort of stuff. Would take the stones. But two guys discovered in 1750 like a coffin area about 3 meters, 4 meters big, made out of big slabs of stone, 8 to 10 slabs of stone with petroglyphs carved into the stone, depicting all sorts of Norse chariots and dogs and axes and solar wheels and that sort of stuff. And funnily enough, they actually got detained because people, when they started telling people, they thought that they'd uncovered like a grave to a king, which is why it got the name the King's Grave. It turned out to be that there wasn't a king there. There was basically bones of teenagers, which is another whole long story, which I'll talk about more when I get there. But anyway, it's stuck and it's called the King's Grave. Or now it's called Bredador, but that's a different matter. And once the archaeologists all got there, once it come to the attention of the general public and that, and they hadn't stolen anything anyway, so they were let free. But they had no evidence of it. There was no actual plunder there to be taken, but if there was, then it was already been taken through the centuries that it's been standing there. And the reconstruction happened then to what it is now and made open to the public. And just up from there, there is another place called Ängakåsen, which is about half a kilometre away, because the whole area is just like one huge Bronze Age burial site, going back to like 5,500 years back. The Ängakåsen has got about 130 grave sites there, of stone circles and stone ships, square stones, standing stones. Lots of it has been disturbed and plundered through the years, where people can't be bothered to go and quarry stuff, so they just took the stones. But through the years the public found them and brought them back and put them back in place. And we go there as well, Ängakåsen. So yeah, it's a hell of a trip. A lot of it is kind of motorway-ish. I've tried to put into the GPS some twisties and that sort of stuff, but there's a lot of ground to cover before that, so I'm going to get a bit of it chunked out on the motorway, and then hopefully get some better pictures later. So yeah, I'll clip it there and we'll film a little bit more as we get closer. I've had to pull over and stop because as you can probably hear, there's a hell of a crosswind. So I need to get my earplugs out. This is quite handy having the Swemotec with me today. The tank bag.
Come on, you buggers. You wait. Right, there's one. Senna. Good stuff. So I might get a bit shouty now. Come on, you bugger, where are you? There you are. Put you in the wrong way, didn't I? The decibels can get a bit too crazy on these open roads that I'm on. My head will be ringing like a bell by the time I get there. We got about between, well, on average, I suppose, depending on the stops and the twists and the turns, about 150 kilometers to go. So not a huge amount, but enough. And then, of course, whilst we're there, so it's going to be a whole day. And it did say that it was going to be quite nice, but look at it. It's starting to look crappy. I did bring my wet weather gear with me, but yeah, okay, ever onwards. Glasses off first, Stephen. Too many things to think about. Right, see you in a while.
There's nothing about, so I've set off pretty early in the morning to avoid a lot of the traffic, so I'm hoping that the day's going to get better. Yeah, you can see the flags going like crazy and them generating electricity, so that's the wind. So if I'm a bit shouty, please excuse me, I've got the earplugs in. Yeah, so this is going to be a good test for actually. This is going to be the longest ride with the Swede Motec. As you see, I've got the charging cable in because I've got batteries to the camera going, the Osmo 4, and I also have a direct charging cable, which at the moment I don't need to use because I've got 2 extra batteries charging at the moment in the bag, full of goodies. So I absolutely love this product. One of the best things I've bought. God, I do hope the weather changes, otherwise it's going to be a grey ride. I've got loads of extra clothing on though, and plenty of wet weather gear with me. I've got loads of notes here which I'm trying to avoid rabbiting about too much, but it's just so I can train up my brain on the way. There is so much history at this place, you know, people have been studying it for, what, crikey, 250 years, deciphering it and working out the entire area. I mean, not just the Kiviksgraven Ängakåsen as well. How it's going to be with the amount of people there, I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm allowed to film inside the burial ground so that we can see some of the petroglyphs, isn't it? Not petroglyphs. That's it. Hieroglyphs is writing, or Egyptian writing. Petroglyphs is carved into stone. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'll be able to film some of that and give some interpretations. We shall see. Right, we're coming up to an area with speed cameras, so I've got to be careful here. This whole road actually has a load of speed cameras around it, or along it. Luckily enough, a lot of them come up on the GPS, so I do get a heads up. And one of the good things about the Atlas throttle lock is that you can just put it in there and not be tempted to blip past it. So I shall get to, there we go, 86, 87, there we go. And just let it roll. They've been cracking down recently again here in Sweden when it comes to speeding, and they are heavy. I think for every 1 kilometre above the speed limit you'll get basically a fine of 100 crowns or 10 quid I think. So yeah, and 30 kilometres above the speed limit, that's it, your licence is gone. Is there a bike up in front? Is that people walking? I thought it might be police. Well, the biker wasn't patting the top of his crash helmet, which is the international sign for the Rozzers. Shame you get all these lovely roads. Oh well, I understand why they've got speed cameras up, but these huge long roads, and you just think, oh, it's so easy just to go wing. There it is there. So you get a photo of me sneezing. Slowbo, that one's for you, mate. There's a good channel, go and check out Slowbo Lobo. I think I've talked about him before. I'm pretty sure I have. Comical guy. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Another one. Right, 90. No, I'm alright. I'm still going to slow down a little bit though. I'm on my way. I've got that stuck in my bloody head now, haven't I? From misery to happiness today. Big smile. Hello. They don't want you enjoying yourself, do they? The sun's trying to come through anyway. 70. Yeah, how many more? See, that speed camera on the GPS wasn't shown up. If I had the detect app on, then I reckon it would show them up. But as my premium has just run out, and there's no point in renewing it for another year at the moment, because it's only about a month, and it goes a month or two, and it goes into the bike goes into winter storage. I'm on my way. Oh, shut up, Stephen. You can't. Once you start it, you've got to finish it. It's like Sheldon knocking on the door 3 times. From misery to happiness today. I am so glad I stopped and put my earplugs in. I bet you are now with my singing. Go on, go out and get yourself some earplugs. Oh, that straight road. I could just blast it here. You buggers. Another pit stop along the way. Yeah, she's definitely starting to come out the sunshine now. I'm glad I got this touring crash helmet, because this peak really does help. So you can just angle it and get some shade from the sun rather than it directly straight in your eyeballs. I'm on my way. Oh God, more from happiness to misery today. You lot are on the way from happiness to misery with my singing. Right. Straight across this roundabout. It's not often I have earplugs in, because I only sort of commute to work, so it feels a little bit weird at the moment. But it makes the bike sound nice. Just huge open spaces. I know you can't see them at the moment because I've got the camera in a different angle. Just zone is sort of so flat and open. It's where the wind comes from, as you heard me swearing about in another video. Another 90 road with speed cameras. I think I could have saved quite a bit of time actually just taking the motorway, but oh my god, you know, motorway for nearly 150 kilometers, no thank you. Right, we'll have to think of another song by the Bikelife. I would walk, oh my god, off we go. I should be playing some music really, shouldn't I? And I will ride 150 kilometers. It doesn't really ring a bell, does it? Bad lyrics. Shut up, Steve.